Hey everyone, so welcome to this new project that I have in mind. Really, just a quick essay video response, which is actually long overdue, really, given the fact that this is in response to a particular tweet that I made in May 9th. And so that got some traction. I got some attention, viral attention, and I said that I was going to make a viral response. And what I had in mind initially was to do a bit of a deep dive, really dive into this problem because, as you would see with the tweet that I had made, it was concerning just a decline really in housing, particularly in Detroit, and trying to, for me to illustrate just a relative decay that's been happening for the last decade. And of course, for some people, like they've never heard of this sort of stuff. But anyway, got a lot of attention. I certainly had my time in the sun, even if it was a flash pan, but it was really just something that, helped me, with getting attention, getting followers and traction. And, I wanted to do a response, but of course, I just didn't have the time because this is a really complicated subject matter to discuss. Just really, it pertains more to Black America. It pertains to decline in manufacturing work, just all sorts of facets and problems. There's a lot of history that I wanted to go all the way back to the beginnings of the transatlantic slave trade and discussing the racial wealth disparities. But that's like a really big dedicated documentary that I would have to do. And I just don't have the time for that because
I'm fucking broke, dude.
so yeah, definitely, something that I want to do, but I just don't have the time, and it just requires a lot of energy and resources that are just not at my disposal. And I'm also trying to get through school and keep a roof over my head, but I can do at least this quick little video, just a quick concentrated dedicated video about in response to the tweet that I made, because this YouTube algorithm doesn't like long form videos. So anyway, really what I'm discussing about, and just to summarize what I had said. So I had reposted a particular post that I found. It was originally posted on Boring Dystopia that I found on Reddit, and I can't really say his name, Dr. Did You Like Fridge? I don't know how to say that. But yeah, I reposted him, and so I just reposted. That's what I always do. I always post memes or whatever I find on Reddit, and then this one just got the attention that it got. Over 11 million people. Even Sagar and Jetty posted on his Instagram my tweet, although he hasn't reached out to me. So, but yeah, so people, of course, were talking about this, and there were doubts. So people were doubting the authenticity of this photo, and so you can see from the initial photo in 2009, there is just a regular household in Detroit, people living their lives. And then 10 years later, 2019, just completely destroyed, completely just devastated. And people were doubting it. People were saying either this is Photoshop or the images are reversed, or yeah, it's a lot of doubt and a lot of people just trying to cover up this very real problem. And of course, they also try to say that this is about Detroit, but this is a scene that you can see pretty much everywhere. I mean, you can certainly find scenes like this out in Houston where I'm around. So yeah, this the specific street actually is 4148 Holcomb Street in Detroit. And yeah, I mean, this is just what's happened. And of course, folks want to act like this is just a normal thing for Detroit when really for, a long time, Detroit was, or just the Rust Belt, was the industrial heart of this country. And now it's probably some of the most least developed and actively declining parts of the country. So yeah, it's sad really to see something like this, to see communities just fall apart. What I understand at least is that this specific section or these houses, and I was actually speaking with a certain Twitter follower who lived around this, actually lived on the street. They're talking about how this was a Section 8 development, and Section 8 is a certain program for the housing department, just to provide low-income housing. But yeah, certainly in the wake of the 2008 crisis, recession, that certainly made a hit. But in this particular photo, these homes were still inhabited past the 2008 recession up until 2013. So people were living there, and then in 2018, it's all run down and just destroyed. And what happened actually in 2013 was that the city of Detroit filed for a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. And of course, since these developments, these homes were public housing, and the city declared bankruptcy, that naturally caused people to lose everything. So this is, of course, something that you can see all over Detroit, but this specific photo and the tweet that I made, I'm just, making a response to it. And yeah, it's just really sad to see because, that first 2009 photo is just a regular community. It's just people living their lives and people mowing their lawns. Of course, you had some folks saying some, pretty, being smart asses, really just like saying, oh, we just got to mow your lawn in 2019. But yeah, it's things have fallen apart. And of course, looking today, what it looks like is probably worse. This is just completely uninhabited. This is just really what the tweet was like. The tweet said that this is what a declining society looks like. This is what it is. And of course, we just have all these problems and all this decay. And again, as I said, this trend that's happening because this area, of course, is a black working class community, working class city, specifically with Detroit and the outsourcing of manufacturing labor. It's just been a consistent decline. And, as I said, there's a lot of history to unpack that I'm still, I try to dip my toes into some research, but this is a big project. This is something that I can't necessarily do, considering that, I have to work and I have to go through school. So, yeah, really I can only do short dedicated videos if I wanted to do, say, a little quick dive into it. And also just real quick, just talking in relations to the 2008 crisis and how that has affected the racial wealth disparity. For those who don't, need a quick rundown of the 2008 crisis. It's a multitude of problems that happened, but quick summary at least is that you had these banks, these realtors who handed out these loans or these mortgages called subprime mortgages, and it was on purpose. What they were doing was they were purposefully handing out these rates and these loans to underprivileged, lower class homeowners, knowing full well that they weren't going to be paid off, knowing full well that they were going to default. So it was a pure scam, a pure scheme that fell through, and that's why we had the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression.
How many loans do you write each month?
About 60.
Yeah. What was it 4 years ago?
10, maybe 15.
Yeah, I was a bartender. Now I own a boat.
You own a boat. So how many of these are adjustable rate mortgages?
Well, most.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say about 90%. The bonuses on those skyrocketed a few years ago. Adjustables are bread and honey.
So do applicants ever get rejected?
Seriously? Look, if they get rejected, I suck at my job.
Well, even if they have no money?
Well, my firm offers ninja loans. No income, no job. I just leave the income section blank if I want. Corporate doesn't care. These people just want homes, and they go with the flow.
Good for you.
Your companies don't verify.
If I write a loan on Friday afternoon, big bank is going to buy it by Monday lunch.
Yeah, same here.
Could you hold on a second?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Why are they confessing?
They're not confessing.
They're bragging.
And that's why we had millions of people homeless, and we still fully haven't recovered. At the very least, black homeownership. This recession is going to have, effects for generations. It really made an effect. So, this little photo that I just like haphazardly put out, just reposting, does so much to illustrate not just, American housing and its decline and decay, but also with people of color, working class communities, lower class communities. I mean, regular homeowners just like minding their, living their lives and losing everything. So, yeah. So again, I know this is a bit of a quick little video that I put out, just so I wanted to have a little dedicated response because, I did make a pretty good gains in terms of followers, in terms of getting some attention, but I said I wanted to strike while the iron was hot, and of course, it's been months since, it's been some time. So, I wanted to, just talk about this little tweet that I made, and also just, really what I have in mind, because as I said, I wanted to do documentaries, but, those long-form documentaries are really a big, tall order. So it's, something that I want to do, but at the moment it's not something I can juggle. So that's why I'm asking for those who do pay attention or who do want to support me to help out with the Patreon. And so, of course, I'm going to make that plug. But the Patreon, really, my lowest tier is $1. So that's all you really have to put in. That would help out a lot. Certainly, I want to release more content and get more historical and essay format videos. I mean, this is what I want to do. This is the work that I like doing. It's just, I'm broke. And there's only so much that I can do, and the algorithm doesn't really rule in my favor, because lately I've just been putting out just podcasts, 2-hour videos, and the algorithm isn't in favor of that. So I'm going to release something like this, a little more concentrated, 10 to 15 minute videos talking about a specific issue. And again, I just wanted to at least putting out content, just doing what I can. I certainly like doing what I do, and I certainly hope that you'll consider me worthy of your support and patronage, so that way I can eventually get around to releasing a longer, more dedicated video in response to really this tweet, because as I said, there's so much to unpack. There's the housing crisis, right? We also have to talk about the war on drugs. We also have to talk about outsourcing of manufacturing labor, and before that, the World War II boom, and then the Great Depression, the Great Migration, since we're talking about Black America, racial disparities, the Reconstruction, Civil War, Emancipation, and the transatlantic slave trade. I mean, this is truly a deep dive thread of history that is illustrated in one photo. But anyway, that's what I have in mind, and I also want to release other just quick format video essays. So certainly consider supporting me, and I'll do my best to get the content out. Although I have to finish up my degree, so that's something that I got to do. But yeah, check out what I got, because I've been releasing content regularly, and I certainly hope I don't disappoint. So yeah, thank you for listening to this little thing, and see you on the next one. Thank you.